Good morning and welcome back to Interactive Coloring Calendars with Jody Drawn Out. We're working in our 2020 interactive calendar today because it's Thursday and we always work in this calendar on Thursdays. You can order this calendar from jodiedrawnout at etsy.com. Jodiedrawnout, one word, at etsy.com is the store. This is the other coloring calendar that I created, Ants, Ants, Ants. You can also get this calendar from Jody Drawn Out at etsy.com. And in the Ants, Ants, Ants calendar, we color on Tuesdays. This is how far we've gotten on our January picture for Ants, Ants, Ants. We have 1 week left to finish this one before we go on to February. Let's go over a few things. Each picture in this calendar makes up the month that it is. So in here, this is the J. The gondola and gondolier make up the J. The little bridge in the back here, that famous bridge in Venice, makes up the A. And then we go to the buildings. N, U. The sail of this boat makes up the other A. The building on tilt makes up the R. And these two mooring pillars make up the Y. So this month is January. So we have today and next Thursday to complete this picture. So next week, we're gonna be working on the flowers. We know we can get as crazy as we want with the colors of the flowers and not worry about it. We've got greens in there and it's not a typical sky where you would be using maybe blues or grays. So that brings us to the buildings today and the clothes that are hanging on the line from building to building. So inside some of the windows will be green. There's some plants in some of the windows. So there'll be green in there. So what I want to talk about is if we had a typical gray blue sky, we could get as crazy as we wanted with the awnings on the windows and the shutters. But since we have lots and lots of colors that we're going to be adding next week, I want to have more of a calming area. So I chose these colors for all of my shutters and my awnings because I don't want it to get too crazy. It already has lots of colors on the pillars, lots of primaries and the vegetables and the fruits. So I want to be careful not to add too many colors on my shutters and in my windows. Also, the clothes can be as crazy as we want them to be. They can be very bright colored. You know, a lot of them have patterns on the fabrics. So I'm going to be using a light blue background for my sky between all the flowers and the open area here where the clothes are hanging. So we'll get to that next week. But this week we're going to be doing the windows and the awnings and the clothes. So these are my colors that I chose for the clothes on the clothesline. So I can get as crazy as I want to, and I plan on it. The other thing that I want to go over is verdigris. So the oxidation is something that happens over time over copper. So a lot of the buildings do have a copper top, and the pillars in Venice, a lot of them are a copper top. And so that's why this one I just kind of kept as a bronzy copper, which maybe it was a replacement. But it is something that happens over time naturally outside in the elements of rain and wind and minerals and whatever is happening outside that causes oxidation. So basically copper starts out as like an orangey brass shiny color. And as oxidation happens, it changes it to like a bluish limey green, which is known as the beautiful verdigris patina. And you can see a lot of that in cities, like a lot of the rooftops in New York City. So it is an authentic process, and it's really, really pretty. So that's why I want to incorporate a little bit more of that, because I love copper. My dad was a precious metals polisher his whole life, so I have an appreciation for precious metals and oxidation. So anyway, I just think it's a really pretty tone, and so we'll be adding more of that on the shutters. So I used these three colors for that. It's parrot green, light green, and pale sage. So it's just a variety of different tones, and that's kind of what verdigris looks like. I guess I'll get started. I'm excited to get this done. Again, I've never seen these colored. I created them over the summer while I was out in Washington, and I thought it would be much more fun to color them during the YouTube as opposed to trying to get them all done and then redoing it with a YouTube channel. So I love that you're sticking with me, and I've never done editing and filming before, so all of these things are kind of new to me. And it's been really, really fun, and I really enjoy doing the videos, and I love seeing these come to life. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get started coloring. And again, I'm going to work on the shutters, the inside of the windows. Some of them I'm gonna darken out like this, and the clothes on the clothesline. Next week, we'll be coloring all the flowers and the sky tones. So the sky tone, again, is behind the clothes and between all the flowers. And also, one more thing, the bottom here, if you remember, we're gonna be doing that in a dark blue because I want it to emulate water. So dark blue down here, light blue up here, for the sky, and a light blue behind the clothesline. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and play some fun music and be quiet and get this picture going. Okay, well, that's all we have time for this week. So next week, next Thursday, we'll be doing all the flowers and the sky behind the flowers and the blue of the water. And then we'll be done, and we'll be moving on to February. And this is our crazy February picture that we'll be working on Thursdays for the month of February. So until then, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you back here Tuesday for ants, ants, ants. And we only have one more week to go on that picture as well. We'll be finishing this up on Tuesday we have to color in the clock and these two and the background behind the confetti. And January in this calendar will be done. And we'll be starting February in Ants, Ants, Ants in our marshmallow cocoa powder madness. These guys are having a great time in the cocoa powder and building marshmallow snowmen, and I'm looking forward to this picture. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I really appreciate it. And until then, have a great weekend.